All eyes were on Usha Vance at the inauguration as her elegant and understated look sparked a wave of admiration. At the 2025 presidential inauguration, a sea of dark suits and muted tones set the stage, except for one striking exception, Usha Vance. The new second lady stepped out in a bold bubblegum pink outfit that had everyone talking. But was this more than just a fashion choice? Her look seemed to hold a deeper message about individuality and power within the political landscape. What could she be signaling? The 2025 Inauguration Day was one of the most anticipated events in recent times. While much of the attention was on the Trump family, many took note of the Second Lady of the United States, whose presence and style stood out in a remarkable way. Before diving into what made her 2025 inauguration look so staggering, it is essential to understand who she really is. Born Usha Bala Chilakuri in San Diego, California, on January 6, 1986, Usha Vance is an accomplished attorney and the wife of Ohio Senator J.D. Vance. Her life, defined by intellect, grace, and strong personal values, is deeply rooted in the story of her parents, Indian immigrants who came to the United States in pursuit of opportunity and progress. Growing up with two loving parents and a wonderful sister in a household where education and hard work were held in the highest regard, Usha demonstrated a drive for excellence from an early age. She attended local schools in San Diego before heading to college, eventually earning admission to Yale University. At Yale, she graduated with summa cum laude honors, an academic distinction that set the stage for her continued success. While the specifics of her academic focus during this time are less publicized, what is known is that she consistently excelled and earned the respect of her peers and professors alike. Her outstanding performance as an undergraduate led naturally to her next significant step, attending Yale Law School, where her sharp intellect and deep determination truly set her apart. During her time at Yale Law, Usha met J.D. Vance, a fellow student whose journey had its own remarkable path. While J.D.'s story as the author of Hillbilly Elegy has drawn significant attention, Usha's presence and achievements during this period were no less impressive. She dedicated herself to studying the complexities of the legal system, becoming a standout student known for her analytical skills and thoughtful perspectives. Her legal acumen earned her clerkships with some of the nation's most respected judges, including then-Judge Brett Kavanaugh on the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit and later Chief Justice John Roberts on the U.S. Supreme Court. Despite her natural fit for the demanding field of law, Usha approached her career with balance and pragmatism. After completing her prestigious clerkships, she joined the San Francisco-based law firm Munger, Tolley's & Olson, where she worked on complex civil litigation. Her role required a high level of skill and focus, and she quickly became known among her colleagues for her professionalism and ability to grasp intricate legal issues. Those who worked closely with her have remarked on her ability to manage the high stakes of litigation with poise and a sharp eye. Usha has always remained grounded by her family and cultural heritage, even away from her professional endeavors. As a practicing Hindu and the daughter of Telugu-speaking Indian immigrants, she grew up embracing both the traditions of her family's roots and the opportunities of her American upbringing. It is clear that her cultural background influenced her ability to navigate different spheres of society with confidence and grace. This ability is often reflected in the way she engages publicly, with a measured, respectful, and thoughtful demeanor that speaks volumes without needing to be loud or overt. Her relationship with J.D., which began in law school, grew steadily as they found commonality not only in their academic ambitions but also in shared values. They married in 2014, committing themselves to a partnership that balanced their individual careers and ambitions while supporting one another through the challenges of professional life. Together, they now have 3 children, Yuan, born in 2017, Vic, born in 2020, and Miabel, born in 2021, who have brought new dimensions to their lives. The couple often maintains a private family life, but glimpses of their dedication as parents are evident from J.D.'s interviews and their occasional public appearances as a family. Throughout her rise as a legal professional and her role as a supportive spouse to a public figure, Usha has consistently carried herself with an air of understated confidence. While her appearances at political and public events may not make frequent headlines, they often highlight her natural ability to command attention through simplicity and elegance. The careful, measured way in which she navigates the complexities of public life alongside her husband reflects both her intelligence and a dedication to the greater purpose they share. Still, Usha is not immune to the challenges that come with her unique position as the spouse of a rising political figure in America. JD's political career has attracted scrutiny from various groups, and as part of this world, Usha herself has occasionally been the subject of pointed comments. Despite this, she has never publicly addressed such incidents in depth, choosing instead to focus on her family and career. Her resilience in the face of these challenges speaks to her strength of character and composure under pressure. In addition to her accomplishments and public-facing roles, Usha embodies the values and complexity of modern multicultural identity in America. She occupies a position at the crossroads of multiple cultural narratives, an intersection where tradition meets progress, and identity is shaped by the interplay of heritage and lived experience. As someone navigating the cultural nuances of Indian and American life while also operating within the elite circles of law and politics, she offers a quiet but powerful example of adaptability and grace. While much of her focus remains on her family and professional commitments, there is a quiet strength in the way she contributes to the wider dialogue about cultural integration and representation, simply by existing in these spheres of influence and succeeding on her own terms. Usha demonstrates the values instilled in her through her upbringing and the possibilities that come with determination and hard work. Her journey to this point has been shaped by discipline, resilience, and unwavering dedication to the people and principles that matter to her. From her childhood in San Diego to her roles as a wife, mother, attorney, and now a public figure, she carries the weight of these responsibilities with thoughtful deliberation, a quality that speaks volumes about who she is. While Usha may not have actively sought the spotlight, her presence in her husband's political life has naturally drawn her into it. Over the years, her appearances at public events have highlighted a quiet elegance and refined taste, a style that reflects both her measured personality and the values she holds close. What sets Usha apart is not an inclination toward flash or grandeur but rather a sense of intentionality that underscores everything she does, including her wardrobe choices. In the years leading up to J.D. Vance's rise as a U.S. Senator and later as Vice President, Usha was often seen as a behind-the-scenes figure, providing support while maintaining her focus on family and career. Her appearances during J.D.'s Senate campaign and subsequent events displayed a consistent approach, with thoughtfully selected pieces that avoided excess while maintaining an understated sophistication. Neutrals dominated her wardrobe, navy blues, blacks, whites, and earth tones, choices that seemed to convey a desire to complement rather than outshine the events or individuals around her. One notable public moment came during the night of J.D.'s Senate election win in 2022. As cameras captured the celebration, Usha stood beside her husband in a simple yet elegant navy blue dress. While the outfit was not overly adorned, its classic cut and refined tailoring mirrored the stability and poise she represents. The choice of understated tones blended seamlessly with the atmosphere of the evening, emphasizing unity and composure. Her fashion choices during smaller campaign events followed a similar theme. For rallies and town halls, she opted for fitted blazers and structured dresses in neutral shades, often pairing these pieces with practical footwear. The balance between professional polish and relatability became a defining feature of her public wardrobe. Her practical, minimalist choices showed thoughtfulness. She dressed for the occasion not to draw attention, yet she remained striking in her precision. As J.D.'s political career accelerated, bringing the couple onto larger stages, Usha's style subtly evolved. One of her first highly publicized appearances came at a bipartisan dinner held shortly after J.D. was sworn in as senator. For the occasion, she chose a striking black midi dress paired with a pearl necklace and low heels, an ensemble that struck a perfect balance between modern and traditional aesthetics. The look projected respect for the formality of the event while staying true to her understated persona. This mix of practicality and elegance became a hallmark of Usha's appearances, quietly telling a story about who she is and the life she has chosen to lead. As the wife of Donald Trump's running mate, Usha's professional background as an attorney is clearly reflected in her sartorial decisions. She brings a polished, no-nonsense sensibility to her wardrobe choices, steering away from trends and focusing instead on timeless, functional pieces. Every piece seems to convey that she has something meaningful to contribute and that her appearance supports that message, not the other way around. But why does her inauguration look hold such significance? We will find that out soon. Over time, Usha's understated elegance became increasingly prominent during key moments in her husband's journey. At JD's swearing-in ceremony as a senator, she donned a tailored grey coat with a chic belt, pairing it with subtle black gloves and ankle boots. It was a masterclass in formality without flashiness, offering a quiet nod to the solemnity of the event. Observers noted the uniformity of her outfit alongside the navy suits and muted ties worn by others, underscoring her commitment to tradition and shared purpose in this important political moment. Her emphasis on subtleties did not go unnoticed. While Usha avoided stealing the show at such events, her understated approach resonated deeply with those who appreciated her thoughtfulness. Social media comments often highlighted her quiet composure as refreshing and inspiring, especially in an era where high-profile figures frequently make their mark through bold statements or larger-than-life appearances. Beneath this consistency, however, lay something deeper, a willingness to adapt while staying true to herself. As her role in the public eye grew, Usha learned to balance humility with small steps of boldness in her wardrobe. During high-profile dinners, charity gatherings, and campaign events, observers began to notice subtle flourishes, a pop of color here, a striking neckline there, signaling an openness to stepping further into the limelight. For example, at a formal gathering in Washington, D.C., Usha wore a deep emerald green sheath dress that stood apart from her usual monochromatic choices while still maintaining her refined, reserved aesthetic. As the years passed, her wardrobe began to reflect her evolving confidence as a public figure. She experimented cautiously with cuts and colors that carried greater visual impact but never overwhelmed her overall sense of grace. It became evident that even as she adjusted to the higher visibility of her role, she remained firmly committed to the understated style she had always favored. Usha's appearances also offered glimpses of her cultural heritage, albeit subtly. At a fundraiser dinner in 2023, for example, she accessorized a formal gown with a pair of delicate bangles that reportedly held personal significance, subtly paying homage to her Indian roots. Such moments revealed her thoughtful integration of cultural identity into a broader narrative of modern American life, where individuality and tradition coexist in harmony. Beyond appearances tied to politics, Usha's style at family-oriented and community events demonstrated her ability to connect in a deeply relatable way. At public gatherings for children's programs or during informal campaign stops, she often opted for comfortable yet polished attire, cardigans, neatly tailored trousers, and practical flats. These instances served as a reminder that she is not merely a political spouse or public figure. She is also a mother, a wife, and a professional whose roles extend far beyond the stage. Her growing prominence in the political landscape, coupled with her unassuming poise, even began drawing comparisons to figures like Michelle Obama and Laura Bush. Women's fashion choices often reflect more than just personal style, they embody a delicate balance between modernity and tradition. While aesthetics may vary greatly, comparisons can highlight how individuals navigate these expectations. Usha, for instance, has managed to subtly distinguish herself while still adhering to the norms expected of political spouses. As public attention toward the Second Lady grew, so did speculation about the evolution of her style alongside her husband's rising career. Whispers arose about whether her preference for muted tones and structured silhouettes would shift to align with new roles and larger platforms. Yet, through all these public appearances, one thing remained constant: her ability to maintain a composed and distinctive identity amid the ever-changing whirlwind of public life. However, there is an aspect that many seem to overlook, at least according to experts. Fashion in politics, believe it or not, is a powerful tool for nonverbal communication, allowing figures to convey values, intentions, and messages without speaking a word. Throughout history, political leaders and their spouses have strategically used their attire to make statements, reflect cultural moments, and influence public perception. First ladies, in particular, have been at the forefront of this sartorial diplomacy. Michelle Obama, for example, frequently chose designs that highlighted American talent and diversity, subtly promoting inclusivity and national pride. Her fashion choices struck a balance between accessibility and elegance, resonating with a broad audience. In contrast, Melania Trump often opted for high-fashion ensembles, exuding formality and occasionally sparking conversations about the messages conveyed through her attire at significant events. Colors and styles worn by political figures are also rich with symbolism. Neutral tones like black, navy, and gray are traditionally associated with stability, authority, and professionalism, making them staples in political wardrobes, particularly for formal occasions. These hues project seriousness and reliability. Brighter colors, on the other hand, can signify confidence, individuality, and a willingness to stand out. Jacqueline Kennedy's iconic pink suit, for instance, became a symbol of youthful elegance and modernity during her time as First Lady. Inauguration ceremonies, in particular, have long been events where fashion choices are meticulously analyzed. The outfits worn during these occasions are often interpreted as reflections of the incoming administration's ethos and the First Lady's role within it. During the 2017 inauguration, Melania Trump's choice of a powder blue Ralph Lauren ensemble was widely viewed as a nod to Jacqueline Kennedy, suggesting an effort to evoke a sense of timeless American elegance. The predominance of muted shades at political events creates a backdrop where any deviation becomes particularly striking. In such settings, a bold color choice is not merely a fashion statement but a deliberate act of communication. It can draw attention, convey confidence, and signal a break from tradition or an embrace of change. The statement in pink. Well, you see, the 2025 presidential inauguration was mostly a sea of somber hues and formal textures, with black, navy, and gray dominating the palette of Trump's political circle. That is, until one striking exception caught every eye. And now, Usha Vance's inauguration look has everyone thinking the same thing. She was there with a purpose. The new Second Lady arrived in a vibrant bubblegum pink Oscar de la Renta ensemble, and against the dark backdrop of subdued sophistication, her bold choice not only turned heads but also raised questions. Was this merely a playful divergence or a deliberate statement? Usha's choice of attire has captured imagination, but more importantly, it offers insight into a potential shift in how she plans to navigate her new role. Politicians and their spouses don't choose their outfits lightly, especially during monumental moments like inaugurations. Their looks are carefully curated to convey messages, whether consciously or unconsciously, and Usha's dress stands as an intentional contrast to her environment. For context, pink is not a color we often see on Usha during major political events. Throughout her husband's vice presidential campaign, her wardrobe favored muted neutral tones, a tan sweater on election day, a gray outfit at a rally in Ohio, and a cream sweater during a major appearance in Atlanta, Georgia. Even her show-stopping debut at the National Gallery of Art just days before the inauguration, a strapless black gown, was grounded in simplicity and timelessness. So why now? Why, at one of the most closely scrutinized events in her public life, would Usha step so drastically out of her sartorial comfort zone? According to experts, pink often symbolizes femininity, approachability, and warmth. It is a color tied to optimism, softness, and even a quiet sort of rebellion. Standing beside her husband and the First Family, enveloped in their darkly hued attire, Usha's bright pink look seemed to whisper something different, something apart from the dominant story. Her legal career, studied with prestigious clerkships and intellectual rigor, suggests someone who values substance over spectacle. Good evening. When I was asked to introduce my husband, J.D. Vance, to all of you, I was at a loss. But at the same time, her quiet appearances during the campaign trail sometimes gave the impression of a woman deferring to her husband's political ambitions. This dress, however, revealed a side of Usha that perhaps hadn't been fully visible before. The choice of pink likely came with an inherent understanding of its implications. This wasn't just about standing out visually. According to insiders, it was about offering a contrast in meaning. Perhaps Usha is setting the stage for the next phase of her public role, not as someone overshadowed by her husband's rising career, but as an individual whose presence, opinions, and, yes, choices will continue to leave an impression of their own. Finally, what do you think about her 2025 inauguration attire choice? Let us know in the comments.